Dictator Vladimir Putin does not want to repeat the fate of the last emperor of the Russian Empire, Nicholas II. This opinion was expressed by former U.S. presidential special envoy Keith Kellogg in Davos.
It is increasingly clear that Putin does not want to share the fate of Nicholas II, the last Tsar of Russia. So he is trying to find a viable way out of this difficult situation. But at the same time, he realizes that he cannot emerge victorious in this war.
Kellogg believes that if Ukraine makes it through this winter, the advantage in the war will be on its side, not on Russia's. Meanwhile, in Davos, the Ukrainian delegation held a meeting with U.S. presidential special representatives Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff. This was reported by the Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, Rustem Umerov. He noted that the main topics of the talks were economic development, post-war recovery, and security guarantees for Ukraine. Umerov added that there was also a meeting with representatives of one of the largest American investment companies, which is involved in Ukraine's post-war recovery plans. In addition, the NSDC secretary reported that he held meetings with the prime ministers of Norway and Qatar. It became known that on January 22nd, the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, arrived in Switzerland. The day before, the American leader spoke about his readiness to meet with his Ukrainian counterpart.
I want to meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky today in Davos. He wants to sign a formal peace agreement, and so does Putin.
The analytical expert Valery Klochkov quotes the words of the current American leader.
Trump stated that the parties, referring now to Ukraine and Russia, are moderately close to signing a formal agreement to finally end the war in Ukraine.
It is assumed that the meeting between the presidents of the U.S. and Ukraine may take place before the U.S. special representatives travel to the Russian Federation. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff stated peace negotiations are entering the home stretch. The parties have managed to achieve significant progress. He noted that after he and Jared Kushner travel to Moscow, the negotiation process will continue in Abu Dhabi. He also mentioned that there remains one unresolved issue in the peace settlement. However, according to the special envoy, this issue can be overcome. During the World Economic Forum in Davos on January 21st, U.S. President Donald Trump once again stated that he wants to stop Russia's war against Ukraine and hopes to meet with his Ukrainian counterpart, Volodymyr Zelensky. According to the U.S. president, Russian dictator Vladimir Putin wants to reach an agreement.
I want to meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky today in Davos. He wants to formally sign a comprehensive peace agreement, and so does Putin.
Earlier in his speech, Trump spoke about his desire to buy Greenland. He stated that the U.S. would not use force to take control of Greenland and politely asked to buy the island. Trump spent a long time justifying America's right to Greenland, citing historical achievements and the current military power of the United States, as well as Denmark's supposed military glory.
We are a powerful country, much more powerful than people can imagine. This was clearly seen in Venezuela 2 weeks ago. We saw this during World War II, when Denmark surrendered to Germany, fought for only 6 hours, and was unable to protect either itself or Greenland.
Trump also accused Denmark of ingratitude and warned that the whole world is in great danger because of nuclear missiles, and that Greenland in this context is a strategic territory.
It's a huge chunk of ice in the middle of the ocean, but if a war breaks out, many missiles will simply fly over this chunk of ice. We want to build a golden dome there.
Trump also accused Europe during his speech of allegedly moving in the wrong direction. In his speech, Trump recalled that he stopped 8 wars and reminded everyone that it was he who reconciled Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Vladimir Putin called me personally and said, I have worked for over 10 years to end the war between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And yet you achieved it literally in a single day.
Trump also stated that 2 weeks ago the United States acquired a weapon that no one had ever heard of before. According to the U.S. president, just one of these missiles can literally destroy everything. And there is no air defense system capable of intercepting such a missile.